But yeah, you don't mind if I drink, right?
Oh no, please.
Okay. That was a formality, by the way. I was gonna be regardless. So what happened was I was talking to a group of people recently, and I realized that every time I mentioned anything real, they went quiet. I remember the saying, if you want to upset a strong man, tell a lie. If you want to upset a weak man, tell the truth. So I realized I was just surrounded by completely weak people, just in general, just weak men everywhere.
Well, people never want to figure out the truth. They always want to hide from it.
Yeah.
Because it hurts.
Yeah. But does it? Should it?
Well, no, for weak men,
For weak
because
men,
they realize that they messed up their life choices.
Yeah.
But for the strong men, they want the truth because they want to be able
Solutions. Yes.
Exactly.
We want solutions. We want to pave a path. Whereas people who have made poor decisions, right, and they compound, it's like instead of facing the reality that they messed up and correcting it, they just choose to hide from the reality that they've built for themselves. The shit reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's garbage though, because
they're going to face that truth one way or the other. Either today, tomorrow, or in 20 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't lived that long, but what I've learned so far is you cannot outrun the things that are going to catch up to you.
Oh, yeah.
Everything catches up to you.
They'll catch up at one point.
Oh, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on war? Would you go?
Personally, no.
Right. But do you feel like war is glamorized somewhat? The way they advertise, like, the role?
Country?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely glamorized in a way. I mean, look at the 80s and all the propaganda they put out there. You know, fighting for your country.
We want you.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, lots of these battles are unfortunately pointless.
Yeah. And then you go, right? And then you come home. If you make it back alive, say you come back home and say part of you is blown off or something, and then you find that the guy next door was working your wife. You know, you have no wife anymore. She's gone to live with him because you weren't there. And the next thing is, you know, she's gone with her shit. You have no shit, no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have no shit. You have no wife. You have no children. And they thought you were dead. But you're basically not just dead physically. You know, mentally, you come back dead mentally as well. Because now you're an alcoholic. You have a bunch of weird shit going on in your brain because you're fucked up as a person, right? And why would anybody want to be around that anyways? So they have a reason to not want to be around you.
It's an unfortunate truth that happens way too much. And when you come back to say, oh, you have plenty of veteran benefits. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're not as good as they expect to be, you know?
I don't think they're that great.
It's much less.
I see a bunch of people on the road wearing like the veteran hats and the shirts and stuff, and I'm like, huh. I don't even know how they got to this point, but it's not uncommon, which means
there's an issue.
There's an issue here. There's clearly an issue.
Lots of them are homeless, you know?
Yeah. It's fucking garbage.
If not, they would go into war, come back, and be considered a hero, but truth of the matter is, a lot of people don't consider them that.
Exactly. People just stay here and they just sit and watch Netflix. I don't know what they did watch back then, you know, but people just chill and just enjoy life when people are out there dying.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks about the guy that's at war dying unless they're directly related to him or something, like a father or a son or something like that. You know what I mean? Everybody else is kind of, I mean, when you woke up, say, last week, Monday, and went to work, right? You didn't think about some guy who went off to die.
Unfortunately not. You're preoccupied in your own daily
Exactly.
tasks.
You're a little weak, making your eggs, you know, and going to work and typing and sending off emails. You're not thinking about somebody out there who is dying on your behalf.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality.
Another topic came off my mind, talking about risk in life.
Yeah.
I think the most important time to take a risk in life is when you're younger, because when you're later, it's unfortunately too late in your 60s or 70s versus you're in your 20s.
Yeah. There's also the delusion we have right now as young people. You know, we're delusional, you know, when you're young, because you tell yourself all these things. When you're older, it's like all the reality is compound and you get all these experiences and you start to cement in who you really are, and it's harder to shift, it's harder to change. But when you're young, you're malleable. You know, experiences can happen and give your life a full 180. So it's the best time to just do any and everything, I feel like.
And time's obviously in your favor, too.
Yeah, yes, it is. But having said that, it's not too late as an older person. It's just that it's more difficult, typically. If you've kept your mind spongy, you know, kept yourself malleable, that's a different story. But not everybody does that.
Why do you think people are scared to take risks even at that young age?
Parents probably. Stiff families, you know, they tell them, oh, you know, don't do that. The parents are afraid of everything. The mom is afraid. The dad is afraid. Don't climb there. You know, they probably try to keep them in line all the time. probably had a curfew growing up, probably have to come back home by a certain time, probably not allowed to hang out with certain friends. So there's no need to explore. The adventure part of them is dead or just non-existent.
They'd rather be comfortable, not take those risks, and not risk losing everything. Because I'm looking at most of the millionaires out there. There's a point in life where they're broke.
Yeah.
And they were fine with that. That was a building experience. They had that knowledge to build back up.
Yep.
But if you're working 9 to 5 your whole life and you want to risk it all,
Yeah.
you have no way of building it back up unless you're going back to a 9 to 5.
Yeah. Yep. And I've come across people in their 20s who have to call their parents and ask for permission to do things still. And I'm like, is it your fault or is it the parents' fault? Who is at fault here? Because I would really like to know, are you just afraid like a scared little child? Or is it just your parents helicoptered you your entire life and now you're just ruined, you're just messed up in the head and you're a coward?
Well, I think it's nice to hear their thoughts and do your own thing at the end of the day. But to just ignore your own knowledge and just fully listen is not a good way to go about it.
I knew somebody once, this was, I think this girl I was seeing sophomore year, I believe, I don't remember. And something happened. I think maybe a car broke down or something like that. And I was able to fix it. And even while I was fixing it, she took up the phone. She was like, I'm going to call my dad. Your dad is halfway across the country. He cannot help you right now. I am addressing the issue right before your eyes. And you cannot, it's like impulsively. She took up the phone to call the dad as the problem was being addressed. It was 5 seconds away from being addressed, but she could not resist calling her father and saying, Dad, what do I do?
Well, things like that, it's become a force of habit for them.
Well, I know, but it's just, how do you get through life like that?
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, she's a girl, so I mean, it's fine. I mean, girls are fine. Girls are fine. I mean, girls are fine.
The time will come where, talking about death.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of fact of if people die, it's when. When, unfortunately, your parents will pass away, you have to become self-reliant.
Yeah.
You can't always ask for someone for advice. You have to trust yourself on one or the other.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like that's good. It's good to have backbone like that. But it's interesting how I mentioned the girl earlier, but like, I feel like women have it a little bit different. I mean, somebody's always going to take care of them. And if you're open to it, somebody's going to take care of you. If you take care of yourself, somebody's going to take care of you, whether it's other girls or any guy around you. He's going to want to take care of you. Like, oh, dam's in distress. Let me come and help you with your car tire, just to get a little smile from you and a thank you. It's very different. And I'm not saying it in a weird, incelish way. I am completely fine with it. I support it, actually. If I see somebody that needs help, I'm going to help her. I don't even expect anything in return, just because she's a girl. Why? I don't know.
It's our natural instinct.
Exactly. I think it's just instinctive. I was born this way. I never questioned it, and it's just in my brain like this.
I mean, look,
that's life.
Naturally, it's the guy's job to be able to protect and provide.
Yeah, so I think this was natural.
Yeah. Human nature.
Yeah. Such is life. But then you have like the feminazis now. Oh my God. Why do you have to make it unattractive? Why do you have to make it difficult? I'm offering to help you. Just accept the help, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And behind closed doors, even though everybody out in public, they take to social media and they take to the world and say,
I want to be fully independent.
Every single time I talk to like a real girl, like somebody who's honest, somebody who's forward, they don't like any of those girls.
Oh, I fully agree.
And even the ones who are out there supporting them, virtue signaling and stuff, if you talk to them one way, they're like, yeah, I say that stuff, but honestly, I just want to be taken care. I just want to relax, You talk to any of them one way, it changes up fast.
At the end of the day, you want to go back to that natural instinct. You want to be taken care of.
Exactly. And I'm cool with that. I'm completely cool with that.
Yeah.